wasn't a lot of character development. I didn't get to see my darling Glenn do anything too cool. Even his proposal to Maggie was very understated, which I liked, but it was very understated.
But it was short too.
Yeah, and it's hard to have a lot of character development when you're basically being attacked by a sociopathic maniac, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you're just really worried about defenses.
What worries me is Scott Gimple also wrote the episode where Merle died, and when I was saying I felt it was too talky and people were explaining their motivations. And I just hope that they don't think of character development as, let me tell you all my emotions and motivations.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not, character development to me is about showing and not telling.
Right.
But I can kind of see what he's getting at. If it's just all out action, then you don't get to attach to the characters.
Right. So
if they can do a good job of that, then fine. I'll be happy.
Right.
Okay, that's it for the news. Let's talk Audible. Okay, so I wonder how many of you guys listening have actually ever tried Audible.
I'm raising my hand.
Karen is one. Anybody else? Anybody? They have over 100,000 titles to choose from, audiobooks. They have fiction and nonfiction. I'm finally listening to Stephen King's Cell right now, and I'm loving it. I like being read to.
Yeah, me too.
It feels like less work, but you still get the story. Yes. And it's just fun to have somebody read to you, and especially if the voice is good, the reader's good.
Do you listen to it while you're walking around the lake?
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of lake walking lately, but driving or just here at home, or I'd walk other places. By the way, if you want to get a free audiobook, you can go to audiblepodcast.com/deadcast. That offer is not available on the main Audible website, but you can get it through us. And you can listen wherever and whenever you want. I do it also when I'm working, if what I'm working on doesn't require too much focus.
Right.
When I'm doing the more mundane things.
Oh my God, my long commute.
Yeah, that's the best place if you have something like that.
Fantastic. Yeah,
because that almost makes me, if I have something like that, then it's like I look forward to those drives.
I swear. Or whatever. Yeah. And I have an hour at least from my commute from Oakland to San Jose every day.
See, I work at home. I'm almost jealous of you because you want that excuse to be able to just listen to an audiobook or do something like that.
I sort of toggle between audiobooks and podcasts lately. And I have to say, I want to give the Audible people big wet kisses for making that horrendous commute on 880 really fun.
So today's Stephen King Day. I'm listening to Cell, and you just finished
11/22/63.
Which is a weird title, but
hopefully most people understand the significance of that date, and that is the date that President Kennedy was assassinated. And I just finished it. It's a long one because I listened to the unabridged version, which is, by the way, the version that you should always download. If you have a choice, get the unabridged version, no matter what. I really like the narrator in this story too, and it's a great story. It's not a horror story. Stephen King doesn't do just horror. He does lots of kinds of books. And it was about time travel. And it was just kind of cool, interesting thoughts about time travel and what would you do. And, this is not an unfamiliar trope. There's lots of books about, would you go back? Would you kill Hitler? That kind of thing.
So but would you go back and kill Kennedy? Would
you go back? And yes, would you kill Kennedy? Yes, that's exactly what it is.
That's fascinating.
It takes off in kind of an unpredicted direction, though, because the past doesn't want to be changed. And the past will fight you to keep it from being changed. And the only time that he can get there is he can only get there in one day in 1958. So he has some time to kill before 1963. And
interesting.
Yeah, he has many years to kill, and he has to wait around. There's only one date for this portal, the day that he left and the date in 1958, and it's a firm portal. So it's kind of neat. You kind of have lots of fun history, lots of good characters, mystery and suspense, and I like how he weaves the characters into this world. Starting with the protagonist, who's he goes by the name George, but his actual name is Jake. So
Well, I
really
think
liked it.
this has gotten pretty good reviews, and
it did.
I think he can be uneven, but this one seems like a winner, and actually I'm interested, so maybe I'll listen to it too.
You should.
Cool. So get your free audiobook download when you sign up for a free trial at audiblepodcast.com/deadcast. Okay, let's take a little break. There's more to come. Stay with us. Let's move on to Listener Moans, Groans, and Grunts.
Brains.
Tons of emails today. I think this is the most emails and calls we've ever gotten.
Really? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you want to start?
Sure. Okay. This is from Sean. He or she says, please explain how walkers in the beginning of the series could use tools such as rocks to bash in the department store window, turn doorknobs, Morgan's wife in episode 1, and climb fences, episode 2 or 3. They cleared the prison yard this season before the governor sent the housewarming van full of zombies. But if they could climb like in season 1, the yard would have been full again in short order. Please give your take on these inconsistencies. Thanks, zombie fact checker.
Zombie fact checker.
Yeah, what do you say?
I think it's because they, at the beginning, they're all fresh zombies that have more skills, and now they've deteriorated. And they've been sort of starving because there's not a lot of humans around to eat, and so they're not well fed, and they're deteriorating.
I say continuity error. Seriously, I mean, the explanation you just gave, I think it's like in Marvel Comics when they make a mistake in a comic. Mm-hmm. If you can write in and explain that mistake within the story, then you get what's called a no prize, which basically means no prize, but it's like an honor or something. And so basically they're asking you to please explain their screw ups.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you just did. I don't think that was intentional.
I just explained their screw ups. I get the no prize.
That's what I think it is.
I get the no prize.
And hopefully, I think they're being, as time goes on, they'll be more consistent about it. But you're right. They did use rocks and they did climb fences. And I don't think you'll see that anymore. But I also think that the zombies change based on the requirements of the story.
Yes, I agree. But thanks for writing in, Sean. This next one comes from Kyle, who writes, do you two like episodes like Walk With Me, Pray, and The Sorrowful Life, where the episode is only about Woodbury or the dictatorship?
Yes.
Thanks for writing in, Kyle.
Next is from Sean. Hey guys, just thought you might find this interesting. There's a movie starring Dallas Roberts called The Factory on Netflix. So if you want to see Creepy Milton, here's your chance. And I looked it up and Dallas Roberts plays a serial killer.
What?
Yeah.
No, I only like sexy Milton.
I thought he always seemed like a creepy guy, and I was almost disappointed when it turned out he was nice.
Turns out I drank the tea.
But the tea doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it does.
if Dallas Roberts is
in
giving
my
it to
heart,
you.
it does. This next one comes from Evan, who writes, I don't want to like Carl anymore. I don't think I like Carl anymore. He's following Rick's madness, but not out of a sense of responsibility. It's more out of anger. He is becoming, or has become, more of Shane's son, or even the governor's, especially when he tells Rick to go now. He has lost his sense of why he is doing what he is doing, unlike Rick, who never did, and the weight of it nearly crushed Rick. I was actually less bothered by Carl killing the Woodbury boy than dismissing Rick when he was called on it. It is war, but he needs to remain Rick's son.
I think you're supposed to feel that way. Like, oh, what's going on with Carl? I think Rick feels that way. I mean, he doesn't dislike him, but he's like, I need to, shape him up or bring him around.
Which is why I'm importing all these old people.
Yeah, hopefully these old people can teach him a lesson or two. Why don't you play some tiddlywinks?
Here's a kid to play with.
Little build character.
Did you notice there was like an 11-year-old kid?
He's like, Dad, I shot Herbert because he was annoying me.
Bad Carl. Bad Carl.
Don't do that.
You are so grounded.
Yeah, that's what I felt like saying. Okay, this is from Greg. Why would Rick's group and the Woodbury people go back to the prison when Woodbury is wide open? Good question.
Yes.
They have homes and real beds and more supplies there, along with better defenses now that all the fences have at least been superficially breached.
And specifically breached.
Of the execs at AMC wanting to get the most out of the money they spend on the prison. That's why.
I guess. I can't figure out any other reason. That place is depressing.
Yeah, but I wonder if Woodbury will still play a part next season or not.
Maybe the governor will go back. Now that it's kind of empty, it's up for grabs, and maybe the governor has to land somewhere.
Yeah, won't that be exciting?
Jesus writes, I didn't like the way Andrea's death was handled. As a fan of the comics, it felt like a slap in the face. Almost like the writers said, let's get rid of her because the fans don't like what we did with her character. At the end of season 2, she fought off a huge amount of walkers despite the fact that she was exhausted and alone. I'm not buying that she could get taken out by one walker, especially where she was bit. This made the moment with Michonne have zero emotion for me. Do you guys think Andrea deserved a better goodbye?
Well, for one thing, I like what you said about not buying that she could get killed, because I do agree that because the zombies have been so easy to kill this season that it didn't quite make as much sense. But I wish more scenes were like this, where they were more of a threat. And if you're alone in a room with a zombie, there's a good chance you're going to get bitten, and that it was easier to believe. I wish it was easier to believe that, because we want to think of them as a threat.
Right.
But as far as deserving a better goodbye, I thought it was a pretty good goodbye.
Yeah, she had a heartfelt moment.
Yeah.
It was a bonding with Michonne. Like I said, I thought Michonne redeemed that whole thing because Michonne just is, she just was beautiful and touching in that whole scene.
Evan says, stop talking to Milt. Oh, fuckity fuck. Just grab the damn wrench.
Except it was pliers.
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe he could have said, that was a haiku, by the way.
Grab the damn pliers.
No, or grab the damn pliers. Yeah. Grab the damn pliers. Yes, exactly. Or just grab the damn tool.
That has sexual connotations.
Yeah, it sure does. John, a.k.a. Jobutu, writes, J&K, I'm sending in my top 5 guesses as to what might happen tonight on the season finale.
He said this before it aired.
Okay, so his number 1 is Glenn will be killed within the first 5 minutes. Mazzara knows that he's become a one-dimensional character with no viewers could possibly want him around any longer. Wow. Number 2. Zombie will be dispatched in such a cheesy way that it will look like it was cut directly from footage of Manos, Hands of Fate. Jason and or Karen will choose it as their zombie kill of the week. Just kidding. They will definitely choose their own on-screen deaths.
I think that's the only one you got right.
Number 3, something will happen to the governor. Or maybe not. Number 4, Zombie Karen will likely be unable to keep from laughing or just get cut out entirely. 5, in a refreshing departure from continuity, Mazzara inserts an additional Glenn death scene at the 35-minute mark. Fans praise him for his bravery and vision. 6, I will get carried away and add a 6th bullet point. Cheers, Jobutu.
1, that's 2 out of 6 that you got right.
Well done.
Jennifer says, wow, what to say? I'm so unsatisfied with the ending. We may not know where the governor is, but it just doesn't feel like a cliffhanger at all. It was just way too do-goody for me. Didn't we skip 5 months between seasons 2 and 3? So am I supposed to believe the governor will just disappear for 5 months? Not buying it. He hit the top of the crazy O-meter tonight. I can't imagine him being gone that long. Maybe the time jump will be different. I'm glad Tyrese is joining the group. I think it's great they took all the kids and remaining adults, but how wise is it? They just brought a slew of kids back to the prison when they think the governor will be back. It feels like they were walking those kids into their graves. Here's a big cliffhanger for me. How are they going to feed all those people at the prison? Their asses better plant a garden. Yeah, right. I mean, the kids are... well, what if they'd left him in Woodbury? I mean, would they be much safer? I don't think so, because even if the governor doesn't come back there, they don't have anybody to protect them there. Mm-hmm. So they needed to do something with them if they wanted to help them, right. I would say. But yeah, I mean, I agree with most of this, especially the first part about the unsatisfying ending.
They've got to clear that big yard and
plant some stuff. That's what they did in the comic.
Herschel is all about that. Remember? He was like...
Strap that hoe to his leg.
That won't take forever with the crutches. Lauren writes, I was so pissed that Andrea couldn't pick up those GD pliers with her bare feet. So I tried it myself with a similar pair of pliers, which is super nerdy and weird. Turns out I got it on, not the first try as expected, but the stupid second try, and easily, which means my toes aren't as dexterous as a woman toe grabbing pliers for her life. Damn it!
But didn't it take Andrea several tries?
It did take her several tries.
You're okay.
Actually, and you know what I had heard? That your toes, you can train them to be just as dexterous as your fingers.
No.
Yeah, you know
you
what
can
I'm
play
saying,
piano?
baby. Yes,
I don't think
yes,
so.
there are
No
people who play the
way.
piano with their feet.
But you don't.
You know
have
what? I
the-
bet some of our listeners play the piano with their feet. Please write in.
Please send video. Don't write in.
I'm certain that is true, and
right,
I
that's good.
like picking things up with my toes because
I do too. Yeah.
And in fact, it's good if
It's
you're
easier.
if you're a runner. It helps prevent plantar fasciitis. Just
My evil stepfather hated when he saw me do that because he thought I was lazy, and when I picked something up with my toes, he thought, "Oh, you're so lazy.
no,
Don't
you're
even
just
wanna
being
bend over."
efficient.
That's what I said.
Yeah, bad stepfather.
Okay, this is from Forrest. As a season finale, this episode sucked. As a regular episode, sucked. No, just kidding. As a regular episode, it would have been pretty good, but measured against the heightened expectations for a season finale, this was mediocre at best. The season 1 finale was pretty good. Escape the CDC, big explosion, then the group is on the road. Okay, I disagree with that, by the way. The season 2 finale was excellent. Massive shootout at the farm, barn is burning, Shane gets his comeuppance. Okay. The season 3 finale, another skirmish at the prison, which already happened once this season. I wouldn't call it a skirmish. Pretty much they just got fired on.
Yeah.
And there's no sense that anything has been resolved. I agree with that. I mean, there's some things that have been resolved, but not as much as we would have liked. So he actually had a much longer email with several points about why the episode sucked.
Thanks for writing for us.
But I had to cut all these down because we got so many. In fact, if your email doesn't get read or your call doesn't get played, I'm sorry, but there are just so many. I just kind of picked them at
We
random.
have some good ones coming up. This one's from Michael. He says, the thing that bothered me quite a bit was when Tyrese walks into the room where his sister is watching over the people that stayed behind and has a conversation with her and says that he's going to go check something out or do something and wait for her to wait and wait for her to wait here. What the hell was he going to do? Did he go to the bathroom? That didn't go anywhere. Were they waiting, wanting us to believe that he was going to save Andrea?
Do you remember that?
Not really. I mean, I remember the little room.
I remember it because Sasha was like, Tyrese came in and he goes, okay, I just shot a couple walkers on the south wall, but otherwise it's calm, your turn. And she's like, okay. And so she's going to go take her turn watching or whatever. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, wait, you stay here. There's something I have to do. And she's all, what?
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
right.
goes, I'll be back. And then you never hear anything.
He was going to get a snack.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah,
Masturbate. It'll just
You
take
wait
a few
here.
minutes. Okay, this is from, we don't know. There's probably an explanation that none of us are thinking of.
Yeah,
but-
they had to fit a lot into that episode.
Brian says, was the ending of this season a Mazzara ending or an AMC Executives ending? Sadly, I'm going to say it was more of an AMC thing. Season ends with a prison, same set, full of new people, red shirts, and a great enemy, Governor, still on the loose. And while we did get one major death, Andrea, it seemed like more, well, someone has to die. How about Andrea? Fans don't really like her. Yeah, Andrea. And the battle scene seemed more like an episode of the A-Team. There's several mentions of A-Team in the email this time. With big explosions, lots of gunfire, and no one dies. I hope Kirkman puts aside his bags of money and grabs the reins back from AMC and focuses on the story. A great story will keep the fans coming back.
You know, I think sometimes I do believe that they listen to what people are saying about the show.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you put that out there, Ryan, because it's a possibility that feedback will eventually get back to Kirkman. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, I know they've already written they've already written half the episodes for next
Well, now
season.
he's like, you know what?
Rewrites.
Ryan's right. Scratch those. But you're all right, Ryan, I think. Okay, this next one comes from Brittany. Thoughts on Andrea? I always rooted for her and really wanted her to make it through to the end of the season. Now I'm angry that she's dead. I get it that the nature of the show is that people die, it's an apocalypse, but her death seems so pointless. Lori's death served a purpose in driving Rick's story forward. Merle's death served a narrative purpose, but Andrea's was an unnecessary death. Her death wasn't for any reason. She wasn't killed by the governor. She wasn't killed trying to save anyone. She had this super crappy plot all season where people hated her character, and her death maybe could have meant something had she died saving someone from the group. I will really miss Glenn Mazzara, but he did a solid female character, no favors at all here, and I'm pretty disappointed about that. You know, Brittany, excellent point, absolutely. But in her defense, Andrea was really trying her level best. It just wasn't very good.
Mazzara in a video interview said the reason why she died, or how it would propel the story forward, because he always says we don't have deaths unless it has a reason or a meaning. And I forgot what he said, and now I can't think what it would be. I think it was
must not have been that meaningful.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was something about it helped Rick see that he needed to bring everyone together, but that seems like a vague connection.
People die pointlessly all the time.
Yeah.
Does every death have to have a meaning?
No, but I mean, that's what they're saying that it does on the show. That's what Glenn Mazzara has said.
That seems like a dumb thing anyway to declare, because in real life, people die pointlessly all the time.
Well, Axel did. Yeah, well, no, there was still...
Axel, yeah, that was...
But I think the writers think that there was a point to this death.
Maybe they had to kill off a major character.
No. There was a point that helped the story. Somehow.
Yeah.
But
She
I just
tried.
can't think of what that was. Okay, this is from Shannon. I know you're sorry to see Andrea go and that she was a favorite of yours, and I'm sorry for your loss. As you, it's so hard. As you can probably tell, I'm not as broken up about her exit. I couldn't tell that until I just read that sentence. I just can't see what else her character had left to add to the show. I feel like a lot of angst fell over her exodus from people who have a subconscious image of her from the graphic novel. This has always colored perceptions of her and led to feelings that someday she would turn a corner and become the character from the graphic novel. Maybe when she learns to shoot. Maybe when her and Dale connect. Maybe if she kills the governor. Maybe. She didn't kill the governor in the comic, by the way. The fact is that she was written different for the show, and in the show, her character was a hot mess.
In every sense.
Her opening scene threatening to shoot Rick established her as hot-headed, gun crazy, and not possessing the best judgment. No one else was ready to shoot him. Then you follow that with her treatment of Dale, her attraction to Shane even after witnessing his over-the-top beatdown of Ed in season 1, the shooting of Daryl, and finally her entire dealing with the governor. I know there are fanboys who are rude to Laurie Holden, and they're jerks, plain and simple, but the action of a few jerks can't change the fact that Andrea, as written, was a train wreck. Nothing personal against Laurie Holden. She did a fine job conveying the character, just as Michael Rooker did a fine job conveying Merle. But the characters they both played had their arcs, and it was time for both of them to move on. For the most part, I agree with you with that. Yeah, I mean, you know, as much as I can justify how Andrea was with the governor, I still don't like her, especially with all that suicide stuff and the way she treated Dale. And I mean, it's all justified, but it's not likable. Yeah.
That was a pretty good email, Shannon.
Yeah. All right, let's go into our back and forth. You want me to start, or do you want to start?
Do it, man.
Okay. Fuckity fuck, not Milton, fuck.
Raylan says, I get that Milton was stabbed a bazillion times, but why couldn't he just crawl over and get those pliers to Andrea? Wimp. Yep.
Michael says the end of the episode wrapped up too neatly. Seems more like a series finale to me. Ooh. I thought that was interesting because I'm like, oh, this seems more like just a regular episode. But when you think of it as a series finale, it actually kind of does make more sense because it felt like a happy ending, except for the governor going free. But the bus part, that seems more like, okay, we don't need any more tension because there's no more to come, you know, so we can let it fizzle out. maybe
those the people on the bus are all asshats, and that's where all
I'm sure some of them are. Yeah. Yay.
Cindy writes, my mom, who watches the show but knows nothing about your podcast, sent me an email on Sunday that ended with, don't get bit. Cute, Cindy.
Tell her that's trademarked and she's not allowed to.
Unless she pays us royalties. Sending us cookies as royalties.
That's right.
That'd
One cookie per mention.
Yeah.
Susan says, are we sure Carl isn't Shane's too? Just saying.
That's funny.
All right, let's get into some of the calls. Like I said, I just kind of picked a few of these at random. Here is Greg from Walnut Creek.
Hi, Jason, Karen. This is Greg from Walnut Creek, California. Just got done watching the finale of The Walking Dead, and wow, great show. Love the way it ended. Couple things, though. Well, first off, I want to tell you guys I loved listening to you over the last couple of years. None of my family would watch The Walking Dead with me until just recently. My 13-year-old son and 15-year-old daughter have started season 1 with me. And in that, a thought came to mind in watching, I think it was the second episode, when they were in the department store on the first floor, the zombies that were breaking through the 2 glass doors. They were using rocks to break the glass. It seemed like they had some level of intelligence back then that has been lost in the mushy-headed zombies of the current show. Kind of hope they bring that back. I'd like to see some level of intelligence to make the zombies a little bit scarier. But again, as far as the episode this evening, I hope they leave the prison. They've got a lot of mouths to feed, as Carl was chagrined to see. But love the show. Keep it up. And I'm not going to give you a zombie sound because, frankly, I'm just not a zombie yet. Talk to you later.
You don't need to be a zombie to give us a zombie
logical.
sound. But
zombies don't exist.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think they're going to go that way. I have a feeling they've wanted to make the zombies seem less human so that it wouldn't be as disturbing to see them getting so brutally killed. But I think it would be more interesting. I've always said this, if they showed that pieces of their humanity were still left and that's more, yeah, but you were saying even just to make them scarier, to have them have a little bit more intelligence, which I also think is interesting. So.
Yeah. It's not going to happen though.
Okay, here's Matt from the UK.
Fuckity fuck. Man, that Andrea, fuck. Hey, Jason and Karen, it's Matt from the UK. Firstly, I'd just like to say, why? I was rooting for Andrea all the way through this season and I told myself there's no way they'll pile all of this bollocks on with the governor only to kill her off at the last moment. But no, they killed her. When I saw her little toes poking out behind that doorway and poor dead Milton lying in front of the chair, my heart just sank. The governor outlived Andrea and robbed her of the proper reunion with the prison gang, and it really pissed me off. Speaking of that rat bastard, how cold is he? When he shot up that little army he had amassed, I nearly shat myself. I'm glad Rick has taken in his old and helpless, though it can't really be good for his stress levels. Anyway, here's my zombie sound. Don't get bit.
That was hilarious.
That was a great call.
You think he's really from the UK?
No. It's a little lie. That was an awesome call. I don't even want to sully it by commenting on it. It's just great. But that was a very English zombie sound.
Yeah, it's good. I liked it.
Call back Matt from the UK.
Yes.
Okay, this is Scott from Nashville.
Hey, Jason and Karen, this is Scott from Nashville, calling with some words about the season finale. I thought 85% of it was tremendous. I was on the edge of my seat for about the first 45 minutes. I can't lie. I'm disappointed that Andrea had to bite it. Sorry, no pun intended. I was also disappointed that they didn't put an end to this whole governor thing. Now he's just kind of out there with his 2 flunkies out in the ether for the writers to throw in whenever they see fit. I was just hoping they would have got that resolved at the end of the episode and then thrown a new conflict on us for us to have to deal with over the summer. But it's great to see a new batch of people out at the prison. Hopefully we'll get some nice new characters to follow. All right, that's it. Thanks for your podcast. It's an excellent companion to the TV show. And here's my zombie sound. Andrea, yum.
It sounded like Grover.
Andrea, yum. Cookies, good. That was good.
Yeah.
We're companions. We're a companion piece.
I forgot what he said early on.
I was just grooving on everything. Thank you from calling from Nashville.
Scott from Nashville. Okay.
Scott from Nashville.
This is Daniel-san from Australia.
Hello, Jason and Karen. It's Daniel-san from Australia. I'm a long-time typer and listener, but first-time caller. And I'm not even really calling, because I'm I'm recording myself because I don't want to call you guys because it's going to cost me probably like $100 to do that.
Worth it.
Maybe not that much, but I'm too cheap to do that. That's the point. I'm rambling. Anyway, love the show. Love, I've been listening since the first episode, and I feel like, I could just hug both of you, especially Karen, long and slow, and just steal her from her David, and I could just be with her forever.
It's not creepy.
In a womb. No, that's creepy.
In a womb.
Anyway, my zombie sound. Keep up the good work, and my zombie sound is. That was a little strange. See you later.
It was very Muppety at the end. Wow, he wants to.
theme.
He wants to
Have a long, slow hug with you.
Spoon me in a womb.
That's so hot. Okay, new contest. Creepiest call gets to spoon with Karen.
I loved it because of his accent.
All right, so I have to admit, I sent Daniel an email saying I wasn't going to play his call because we had too many calls today, and I blind carbon copied Karen, and she said, "You have to play this call."
I loved it so
I thought it was cool.
He wants to spoon me in a womb.
That's
Come
nice.
on.
All right, creepiest call gets to spoon Karen in a womb.
Or not.
Okay,
Or maybe you get a book.
Get a Daryl t-shirt. This is Chris from Phoenix.
Hey guys, it's Chris in Phoenix. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Just finished watching the episode. Have to say, it didn't end exactly as I would have liked it to. I'm really disappointed that we didn't get to see Comic Andrea actually develop from the TV show, which was alright. I give it all together 4.5 out of 5 brains overall. One thing I've also just want to add to this altogether is an extended ending or an alternative ending to the season that I believe should have happened. I read this online, and I'd like to share it with you guys. What I think should have happened would have been after the credits are rolled, when everyone, all the old people are getting into the prison, should have been the governor and his 2 minions driving, and then somehow their car stops working, so they get out of the car and they see this contraption, and so the 2 minions go check it out. They get killed by some trap set up. The governor walks out to see what the hell is going on, and then you see Morgan up on the roof with a sniper rifle aimed at the governor, shoots, kills the governor. I think that would have been perfect, setting up the season for the next arc in the comics. If not, one way or another, I'm still really excited to see what's going to happen with the governor, and hopefully I get on there, and thanks for your time.
I love it.
I wonder if the old people, so to speak, are going to be like the log-carrying people from Lost, where they'll just be hanging around in the background.
Until they get shot by flaming arrows.
Yeah. I bet you it will. I wouldn't be surprised. They'll just be mowed down when the writers can't figure out what to do with them.
Bring on the flaming arrows. I agree with him, by the way. It would have been cool to see the governor and his minions
Killed by Morgan.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Okay. Who was that? That was Chris. This is Megan from Pennsylvania.
Yay, Megan.
This is Megan in Pennsylvania calling about the finale for season 3. And I just want to say, AMC, you guys are such great jokers. What a wonderful April Fool's Day joke. And a day early so no one suspected it. I'll be tuning in tonight for the real ending where we actually find out what happens to the governor. I fully expect there to be something else tonight because surely that was not all we're getting for 7 months. Happy April Fool's Day, guys! But it was all-
Thanks for calling, Megan. Sorry, honey. You're just going to have to console yourself with Game of Thrones.
It's March 31st.
Yeah, it's no joke, man.
Okay, this is Michelle from Long Island.
Hey, Jason and Karen. This is Michelle from Long Island, New York. I'm just calling about the finale. I'm kind of bummed. And, Karen, I love it when you just drop the F-bomb, but I don't really like dropping the F-bomb, but I will say this about the episode. Uckity, uck, uck, uck. I cannot believe what they did to Andrea this whole season in this last episode. It was horrible. They totally destroyed her character. And I mean, that scene where she's in the room and trying to get the pliers with her feet, and then she stops like 3 times to talk to Milton. I'm like, really? Learn to multitask, Andrea, please. I love Andrea. I thought Lori Holden was awesome, and she's going to be so missed on The Walking Dead. She was a great character. But at least if you're going to kill a main character, have them go out like Merle. Not like some lame, oh, I've almost got the handcuffs off, and then, he still bites me. Like, what happened to our Walker killing skills? I just don't get it. I'm totally bummed. Don't like the way Andrea died. It was not even emotional for me because I was so angry because they made her look so dumb.
I don't think she likes how Andrea died.
Yeah, you think she has an opinion?
And I really loved Glenn Mazzara. I really did. But that last episode just didn't do it for me. Also, can't believe the governor's not dead. Totally shocked when he just offed all of his peeps and basically said the heck with it and drove off into the sunset with 2 of his goons. And I'm just kind of confused about why they brought like all of Woodbury to the prison. Wouldn't it have made sense to stay at Woodbury and fight the governor there instead of going back to the prison? But anyway, just kind of wanted to call in. Love your show. Gonna miss it for the next, I guess, 6 months. Can't wait for October. Hope you guys have a great holiday and a good time at whatever you're doing. Take care, guys. Bye.
Whatever you're doing.
Thanks. Yeah, whatever it is. Hope it's good.
Wish we were having a holiday.
There will be a show of sorts during the off season.
There sure will be.
She called them goons, and one of the other call I can't remember what it was.
Minions?
Something like that. They've got names
Henchmen?
for these 2 guys.
Yeah. Martinez and the other guy.
Schlumpemuffer. Okay.
Schubert.
One more call. That's right. Schumpert. This is Michelle from Austin.
Hi, Jason and Karen. This is Michelle from Austin, Texas. Just want to say that I've really enjoyed you guys this season. I just started listening to your podcast just after season 3 started, and it just made me enjoy the show so much more. Listening to you guys every week, the interviews, you guys have done such a great job. I even went back and listened to all of the other previous podcasts that you've done for the last 2 seasons, and it's been great. So you guys have just been wonderful. As far as this season on The Walking Dead, I would give it a 4.5. I think it's been the best season so far. The development of the characters, the storyline, the action, drama, all of it has, just escalated so much. I've really enjoyed it. As far as the season finale last night, I have to say it was kind of like a James Franco performance for me. I found it a little bit lackluster. I was just expecting fireworks, major things to happen, to be surprised.
Have you heard of this movie called Spring Breakers?
Yeah.
It's like all these hot chicks in bikinis, and James Franco as this sleazeball.
Yeah.
It looks like he's giving it his all in this one.
It's supposed to be, his performance in that is supposed to be great.
Yeah, I think when he plays sleazeballs, he's really good at it.
Oh, yeah. He was great in Pineapple Express.
It is weird. Yes, exactly. But he does turn in a lackluster performance on occasion, for sure. Like Oz.
Hello, Oscars.
Yeah, and Oscars. Yeah, It's weird. I think he gravitates to a certain type of character.
And I really wasn't. I really wasn't that surprised. The only thing that surprised me and disappointed me was that the governor survived. I was really hoping that Martinez was going to shoot him in the head, but that didn't happen that we know of. So hopefully, the beginning of season 4, maybe we'll see something like that. But I'm a fan of the show. I will stick with it no matter what. And, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes in the future. I know you guys usually like to have zombie noises, so I'm going to leave you not with my zombie noise, but the zombie noise of my 7-year-old Lhasa Apso dog. Her name is Bella, and so here it goes.
Squeeze that dog.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's awesome. What did they have to do to get her? What did she have to do to get her
Squeeze
Lhasa
the dog.
Apso? That's no.
else? I don't know.
She trained her doggy
Rub
to do
his
that. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
That was so great. Thank you for calling. It really was awesome.
All right, that's it for all the calls and stuff. Let's move on to Comic Talk with Jaden. Take it away, Jaden.
Hey there, Zed Heads. This is Jaden back for the last Comic Talk of the season. Sorry you guys didn't get to hear me last week. Jason and I recorded a great little segment on This Sorrowful Life, but unfortunately the god of computer glitches ate the file. So let's try and catch up. So going back to The Sorrowful Life, I'll see if I can get through these real quick here. Some neat little things I saw were Merle putting the phone in his bag. It was kind of a great throwback to Rick taking the phone with him when he left the prison, because he couldn't bear to be without Lori. I was wondering what Merle was going to be doing with it, but I think it was just an homage to Rick doing that. Another one was Michonne's wonderful line of, "I wanted to get my sword back before I get away." I'm pretty sure she used a line almost exactly like that in the comic book when her sword was in possession of the governor. Now, Michonne beheading a zombie with a wire, I have to say the comic book is 10 years old and 108 issues deep, and they have never killed a zombie that way. That was a pretty awesome fresh kill. Another thing we got was Gwen and Maggie getting married. One of my favorite little pieces from the comic. And just like in the comic, Glenn scoured some female zombies until he found a ring to give to Maggie. Pretty touching they kept up with that. Now, we had Ben dying in the episode, and while he was relegated more to an extra instead of a main character, we had Ben dying in the comic in a very different way. Now, Ben had a twin brother, Billy, and they were both about Carl's age. And on the road away from the prison, one of them, I forget whether it was Ben or Billy, they're twins, it's hard to tell them apart, but one killed the other one and was mutilating his corpse when he was caught. And his response was, "Oh, don't worry, he'll come back. I didn't destroy the brain." And so everyone freaks out, they lock him in the back of the van, and no one can figure out what to do. So Carl sneaks in there in the middle of the night and kills Ben. And no one knows who did it, and Carl just did the dirty work for everyone to take care of. Now this next one, I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but I can't resist the opportunity for the pun. So we get the end of the Ricktatorship and the start of the Democracy. I knew I was going to screw that up, but it was worth it. Just like in the comic, Rick had his control taken away from him, and it turned into more of a democracy where a group of 4 was in charge. We talked about this previously, but now we kind of had it happen. And it felt like the speech he gave was a little bit like the one he gave on the hilltop after they killed all the zombies that came in the No Way Out storyline. Now, I'm going to jump over to Welcome to the Tombs, because the finale was pretty damn nifty. So, first off, I have to say, so long, Milton, and thanks for all the fish. So great to get a positive Asperger's type character in any TV show, so I'm sorry to see him go. I really loved Milton. Anyway, on to the actual comic stuff for this. We get the full-on comic governor. God, is he evil. This is exactly what I've been wanting to see the entire season. This is who we saw in the comics. From the very first moment we met the governor, he was just batshit fucking insane, and hey, now we got it. He used a line here as he was talking to Milton that Rick used in the comic at one point. You kill or you die and you kill. Now, I didn't have too much time to research my comic material before I made this recording today, so I may be a little bit off, but I'm about 95% sure Rick said it in the comic. Now, some differences we got. Martinez lives on the TV show. In the comic, he died when Rick ran him over as he was leaving the prison to tell the governor where it was. Carol survives the season when, on the comic, she committed suicide by letting a zombie bite her in the neck. And the one who gets bit in the neck by a zombie happens to be Andrea. So unfortunately, we never get the awesome comic book version of Andrea, but I kind of felt we were going to have some big differences when she was 10 years older and not a redhead on the TV show. Still, she got some great stuff done and we're going to miss her. Now, the second attack on the prison, in the comic, this was set up very, very differently. Tyrese and Michonne had been captured, and the governor showed up at the prison and threatened if they didn't let them in, he was going to kill Tyrese. Rick wouldn't open the door, so Tyrese had his head cut off with Michonne's sword. And that's when Michonne showed back up and took her sword back during all the chaos. In the comic, it did involve a tank, but it didn't have any ammo. So we kind of compensated for that on the TV show with the grenade launchers taking out the towers, which is pretty awesome. Now, we killed a lot of the prisoners in the comic book as they ran from the prison during the melee. In the TV show, we didn't really have any deaths, which was kind of cool. And the governor was killed by Lily, who is featured as the prime character in the second novel. She was the one who shot Lori, and when she realized that she'd killed a woman with a baby, she freaked out and shot the governor in the head. Now, the governor killing his own people was touched on in the comic when people were starting to freak out that they were killing regular people and women and children and all that kind of stuff. The governor started shooting some of his own people. This was right before Lily killed him. So the Woodbury people were reluctant to kill the prisoners in both the comic and the TV show, which I really thought was cool. Now that we've got Karen surviving the onslaught of the governor, I wonder if she's going to be the version of Lily that we got in the comic book. Even though Lily, we didn't really get to see her after that, we did get to see the character fleshed out quite well in the first or the second novel. Now, Carl, we had him killing Ben in the comic, and that was his big thing. But now that he's killed the teenager, this time with someone actually seeing him in the act, this has some good implications for Carl's mentality that we can touch on in season 4. The Woodbury people coming to the prison at the end was a totally new concept we never saw in the comic, because the prison was done with after the second assault. We never saw it again. Now, Jason's asked me to provide a few predictions for season 4, so I'll try and keep these short and simple. We're going to get more prison, which I think is a good thing. We've got a lot more that we can do there. We've got more people in the prison, which means we're going to have less main character deaths, which I think is something the show needed. We weren't really having time to get to know just about everybody. I mean, we had Axel die long before we got to enjoy the character. I think we're going to have Martinez joining the prison group to either kill from the inside or to let the governor in. Tyrese is probably going to have his sister die at some point, and in his rage, he's going to go to clear out the basketball court and run into a herd of zombies. Everyone's going to think he's dead. They're going to lock him in. And then a couple days later, they're going to open it up, and he's just going to be sitting there like, what took you guys so long? I was getting hungry. One of the fun things I love from the comic that I think we're going to be looking forward to on the series. Now, I'm thinking maybe they're going to end either the season or the half season with the trip to DC and the hilltop. If so, hopefully we get some cannibals, we get the gay couple we meet at the hilltop, and maybe even end the season with Rick trying to take over the hilltop. Now, one of our firsts we've got from for Comic Talk here is I've got a fan call-in. Wow, I feel special. So I'm going to turn it over to Matt from Connecticut with his questions.
Hey Jason and Karen, this is Matt calling from Connecticut. I actually had a question for your comic book guy. I have a bunch of questions for him about the likeliness of different characters showing up in the TV show, and some of them are a little spoilery, so I just wanted to see maybe if you could ask him and see what his thoughts are. I was wondering if he thinks the Hunters are going to be in the TV show. I was also wondering if he thinks that the Priest is going to be in the TV show, as well as Hilltop and the Saviors and Negan, and my biggest question is Ezekiel going to be in the TV show? Obviously there's no way of knowing or telling, but I would really like to hear his thoughts on that. If you can go ahead and ask him those questions for me, I really appreciate it. And the last time I called, I didn't even think about making a zombie sound, so here it goes. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Don't get bit.
Yay, zombie noises and comic talk. That's another first. All right, thanks for the questions, Matt. Let's see how I can get through these for you. The hunters, I definitely hope so. Those are the cannibals I mentioned earlier in my predictions. The priest, his name was Gabriel. If they do the hunters, they're likely going to do Gabriel, since the storyline took place hiding out in his church. Plus, he's a very strong character in the whole Rick taking over the hilltop scenario. The hilltop, I've mentioned many times. I think it's highly likely. Same with the saviors. I've got my fingers crossed for Jesus because I'm really looking forward to seeing him. For those who haven't seen him, he's as badass as Michonne, but he doesn't need a weapon. Negan, I really hope they do him. I'm pretty sure they will. He is such an interesting character. For those who haven't seen some of the newest issues, we've got a splash page of him on the first page of one of the newest issues saying, "I'm gonna destroy you." And it turns out he's playing ping pong, which was really funny. Ezekiel, it's a little too soon to tell. He's only been in one issue of the comic, so we don't know what he's capable of or if he's going to be a major character. So we'll have to just wait and see on that one. Thanks for the questions, Matt, and I'll talk to all you guys most likely when Season 4 starts up. Until then, don't get bit.
All right, that's our show, episode 102. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
I want to thank Jaden Walker. You can find, Jaden has this great music that we play occasionally, and he told us that his sales have increased 50% now. Instead of making $4 a month, he makes $6 a month. So if you liked
You're welcome.
The music that he played under his Comic Talk section and also in the interlude before, during the little break, then you should check him out. You can find his music by searching for The Eternal on iTunes or CD Baby, and he's also The Eternal on Twitter and app.net. So,
thanks, Jaden.
Just before we started recording today, I found out some kind of sad news.
Sad.
That Karen is moving to Philadelphia.
Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah,
God.
Pittsburgh. Sorry.
Pittsburgh, PA.
Your favorite place.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got my friend Bill coming in, and he's really good. He loves the comic and he loves the show, and I think you guys are really gonna like him. And Karen most likely will come on every once in a while, right?
Yeah, if there's Skype, right?
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. But is there anything that you want to say about the podcast or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Well, I just want you to know I'm really going to miss you, and it's been great. So if you'd like to leave me a message, you can call me at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323. You can email me at brains@walkingdeadcast.com. You can check out our website at walkingdeadcast.com, and don't forget to click through our Amazon link on there, or just go to walkingdeadcast.com/Amazon whenever you shop at amazon.com. And we're also... I can't do that part. I can't read this part. We're also on Twitter at Jason and Bill.
Jason and Bill.
And on Tumblr at walkingdeadcast.tumblr.com. Oh, well, I fucked that one up. Facebook at facebook.com/deadcast and Pinterest at pinterest.com/deadcast. All right, that's our show.
Thanks for listening.
Hey, April Fools. I'm sure everyone was fooled by that.
Jason and Bill.
See. Dang. I can't be deadpan.
That's funny.
Okay, there's actually some stuff I wanted to go over. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, I did. It was just as good as ever. It felt like almost no time had passed.
Really?
Picked right up where everything left off, and such a good show.
Man, I can't wait. Do you know what? We rewatched all of season 2. We went back and watched and rewatched the whole season 2.
Because I couldn't remember half the crap that was going on.
I'm so glad we did it. I'm so glad we did it. And we knew that it was on last night, but we're like, you know what? Let's just find some real time where we can sit down and really enjoy it. So, yeah, I'm so excited. And we were trying to name at this season 2 finale. When we were watching that, we're trying to name our favorite characters. And immediately I'm like, Tyrion, because he's awesome. But then I kept switching. I'm like, no, Arya. Arya's my favorite. No, wait, it's,
I really like the prostitute.
Yeah, she's great, isn't she?
She is.
Yeah.
And she's hot.
Yeah, and I think she's like an Eastern European stripper or something.
Really? Mm-hmm. No, so they wanted to get someone who wouldn't mind being naked all the time. She's a good actress.
By the way, there's a lot of nakedness on that show.
Last night there was a little, not a whole lot.
Really?
But there was a little.
There's one, I think there's a blog that has like the TNA count. Yeah, which is awesome.
It was good. And the parts with the blonde girl, the one with the dragons.
Oh yeah, Daenerys.
We don't want to say too much because we don't want to spoil
Daenerys
it for
with
people
her
because
three
we
little
haven't
dragons.
seen it up until this point.
So
but
cute.
Anyway, it's really good. I like the way they're advancing her story.
I totally want a pet dragon.
Okay, so I just want to tell you guys, if you're still listening, that a lot of you probably just discovered us this season, and maybe you don't even know this, but we keep doing the podcast when Walking Dead's not on the air. We slow it down. We do it once or twice a month, so more or less bi-weekly. And we cover like zombie movies or whatever the hell we feel like covering. We do. It's a little more relaxed, and even, can you believe it? Even more so. And we do Deadcast Top 5. We do kind of fun topics, and we'll have guests on. I'm hoping to get some podcasters that I have admired on, and different, maybe some book authors and other people like that. And so if you're into that kind of thing, you should stick around and check us out. But I know some of you only want to hear us recap, review the show, and that's totally cool. So I want to thank you guys for listening and say goodbye, and hopefully we'll see you back here in October.
But stick around anyway. And this has been, like we said, a great season for the show and the podcast. I feel like our podcast has really grown a lot this season, and we've been, we got the t-shirts and lots of great interviews. We got a lot of cool people working for us and stuff, working with us. Not for us, with us. And so it's been a lot of fun. I'm really digging on it. It's been a fun season.
Don't forget to send us your Deadcast Top 5 suggestions, and we'll pick the really good ones, and you can come on and do it with us if you want.
And we'll spoon. Whoever the winner is, we'll totally spoon.
No, that's the creepiest call.
That's the creepiest call.
I want to get some creepy calls.
Daniel, son, I love you so much.
Since you've shown you're open to it.
Come over and we'll spoon.
Have some of those creepy calls directed at me, please. No, I'm just kidding.
You had your share. Those Ghost Show girls.
Next episode is around April 20th, and we'll be doing our review of the new Evil Dead movie.
Woo!
I'm not sure what else we'll be talking about yet, but we'll figure it out, and we'll post it up on Facebook once we know. Then on May 3rd, we're going to have our annual season wrap-up crossover with the guy... February or March 30 or April 1st, 4:33 p.m. Blah.